Noxcrew! Hey guys, welcome back. It's Avondale. I'm here again with Blue Help Bot Niall. Say hi.
Hi, I'm in a GIMP mask.
He has a... It looks like a bucket upside down on your head. It's the weirdest thing.
It's a chainmail helmet. Yeah, we've never used chainmail helmets before.
It really does look like a bucket. Okay, anyways, we're back here in Sprint V3. And, yeah, isn't it wonderful? So we're going to talk about some of the obstacles in here, and we're also going to talk about the little blip, the biggest flaw in our recording that day, and also how lucky we were that it happened the way that it did. So, yeah, let's start with the lobby, I guess, so you can show off your little bird baskets up there, yeah?
Alright, so the first thing you'll notice about this lobby is I sneakily managed to actually include a 3x3 robot chute this time. Because I was really getting sick of the... Ooh, fancy. So spacious. Also, what we did for Sprint version 3, as we pretty much did for all the other sprints beforehand, I say all, I mean both of them, is we gave the contestants a chance to kind of look over the track beforehand, even if they didn't quite know what they were doing. So I installed these two little viewing platforms, which
you can't get to. It only teleports the people on the team.
Yeah, we did actually set that up, so it only teleports the teams.
Oh, the worry was that they push the button and there's a camera standing right next to them, and it teleports the camera, and they go, well, how did that just happen? Or it teleports an invisible player who got too close or anything.
Yeah. So specifically, this would only teleport the blue team. Now, this is a small viewing platform that gives you a general overview, and then I thought it would be nice to stick in a little Easter egg as well, so you wanna... Now that's... I pretty much just started building that, but then I had to do something else. So I just told... I don't even remember who it was, there were just two viewers, and I was like, guys, can you please make this look like a birdcage? And then I just leave myself where I wanted the birdcage to be. Then I log back in an hour later, and they've just built a birdcage around me. And I'm like, perfect. then I set the floor to glass so that you just get massive amounts of vertigo, and put in a panic button.
Yeah, and one person did make it up here during the recording, I believe.
I'm surprised only one person found that button. I thought everyone was going to go. Obviously, it wasn't a priority to get stuck in a birdcage.
Right. Okay, so let's start talking about the obstacles in Sprint V3.
Sprint V3, really simple, just most of it's parkour. Seemingly the entire thing's just going to be parkour until you get to the last obstacle. So, like, this here, like, it's really easy, just ladder and block jumps. Then we've got the full ladder jumps. There's a pig here. There are pigs in each of these towers for the only reason that Landlord said, wouldn't it be funny if there was a pig there?
I believe it started with, hey, would a pig fit in here? Oh, yeah, look at that. Wouldn't this be funny? And that's why there's pigs. Imagine that.
And the thing is, yeah, whenever somebody puts something into the game show, we don't normally touch it until we speak to the person who put it in, for the reason that you never know why something's there and you don't really want to muck around with it too much. And if somebody puts a pig there, like, we're not going to question that. We're going to be like, okay, clearly there's a reason that there's a pig there. There's not.
Right. Okay, so if you'll just notice, I just hit this button, and for some reason, the whole piston system glitched out there. So I wanted to see what actually happened behind the wall. I was going to demonstrate this obstacle while we talked about it, and then I fall. Go ahead, Blue Helper Bot.
Okay. He says glitched out. I just think he's not very good at this.
Oh, you wait until you see the video. It was pretty outrageous. Aww. Okay, so this... A lot of these, the nice thing about Sprint V3 is that each section you could have one person who was really doing a good job. So it only took one person to make it through the sections. Oh, and then I fall. Yeah. But one thing that we did that was, I thought really helped bring this game into perspective is one person couldn't win the game because they would, even if they were really fast, they would have to stand here and wait for their teammates to catch up to make sure that they all got through to get to the point of the last puzzle. Even though you could be really good at it yourself, you couldn't win the game for your team. You still had to get the other people across.
In earlier versions of Sprint, we needed to have like all three people complete the obstacle, but we found that that took way too long. Like if you saw the episode with the Voxel Box, I think episode 2, they just could not complete the first obstacle. We're actually redoing that version of Sprint so that it's a bit easier, just given the fact that they took so long to complete that obstacle.
Yeah.
So these little pistons were a way to make sure that the game didn't drag on forever, essentially.
Right. Which it still ended up doing because of the last puzzle, but we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so we're at the color changing floor bit, and I was actually personally pretty surprised at how quickly the contestants completed this puzzle, because it's really not that easy, as you can see there by me messing up. Of course not. Blue Help Bot goes over and does it on his first try again.
Yeah.
There have been easier puzzles that we've made. This one was affected a little bit by the ping, as you can see there. Oh, he's helping me up. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so it was affected a little bit by your ping, but they did a really good job with that puzzle, I thought, getting through it in time. That's yet another puzzle that's going to be so much more, I guess, efficiently done when we can use 1.8 commands. Have I mentioned I'm excited? I'm so excited.
I'm excited too, just because, like, latently, you're excited, so I'm excited by proxy.
Oh, great. It's reaching all the way around the world. And now we are at the color clash, is that what they called it?
That's Nox always makes up stupid names of these things.
The color,
yes.
the chairs, the toilet seats of pistons, where you step on things and they happen. So let's talk a little bit about this puzzle, because it took the contestants kind of a long time in the episode to get by it.
Yeah, in testing, it did take some people less time, so they were definitely on the higher end of the bell curve, but that's fine.
We shoot for games that last 7 minutes when we design them.
Yes.
And when we were playtesting, this one was averaging to about 8 minutes, and we decided that we would leave it in. Now, it did last longer in the episode. It lasted almost twice that much time, but was that necessarily a bad thing? I don't think so. It gave the commentators some time to be ridiculous. It caused some really interesting drama, especially when RPM fell backwards off the checkpoint. Oh my.
I think this is a fantastic obstacle. I mean, it's not, we wouldn't really call it an obstacle so much as a puzzle, but straight away, like, you look at, the door should be shut for starters. This is what happened during the recording.
Yeah, it's open so we can reproduce our mistake. So,
yeah.
How does something like that get missed is the question. And
I don't know. I really don't know.
We still don't know. It was the one time that nobody caught it, and there's an interesting conundrum with this course, and that's that the redstone computer is over there behind that wall. Everything that resets the game is over there behind that wall. And then all the way down here, we have this door, and behind this, we have a series of completion checkers that checks for people on the tops of these towers. And what we learned on the night of recording is that when you are the only person on the server and you're standing over in the computer trying to reset it, this end of the course is actually so far away that the server doesn't load it and it doesn't send the redstone commands over there. So this was the one legitimate mistake that we felt like we made during the show. And
yes.
However, we got so lucky with it, because if you watch the video, they hopped up out of this this last puzzle within a second or two of each other. It was so outrageously close, them making it to the end of this obstacle, that we just decided to get everything reset, give everybody time to just take a breather, and then start them again from the same exact point. And I think you guys will probably agree, having watched the video, that it in no way affected the outcome of that game, because the blue team clearly had a better grasp of that obstacle than the yellow team did.
Yeah. The blue team didn't actually do it exactly as we'd planned it in testing. They did manage to skip a couple of steps, but during the testing phase we found that we wanted to make it on the easier side of things, and I mean, heaven knows what it would have been like if we'd made the delay times shorter.
Yeah, that's another good point to make, is when this puzzle was initially designed, these pistons reset after 5 seconds, and it was possible, but we delayed it to, I believe, 7.5 seconds between the reset to make it easier, and it really did make it a lot easier.
Yeah, I was pleading with landlord. I was saying, look, I know that it is technically possible, but remember, these people have never played it before, and we don't want the video to drag on for 15 minutes.
And it still did. And what can you do? Things happen, and that was one of those things that happened. So one further critique of this game, the last thing we'll talk about, is that when you go through this door and you get up here and you turn around and you look back like Ant Venom did, they saw the team still stuck back there and they realized, we won, yeah, we did it, we won. And then for the next 15 seconds, they're getting out all their excitement, and then they come up here and then the game ends and they're not as excited anymore. So what did we learn from that? We learned that two things. First of all, there needs to be some definitive way that the other team will know when you've completed an obstacle. So when we do sprints like this in the future, when an obstacle gets passed, we're going to have fireworks shoot up so the other team can see the fireworks and know that they beat it. And the other thing is, we don't want it to end on a puzzly type game mode like this where they know they've won right after, but they don't get to the finish line right away. We want to make it so that they've won as they get to the finish line, so that there is excitement in their voices right when the game is won, not right when they've beat the last obstacle and then they spend 30 seconds walking to the actual finish line.
Yeah. And the only way to really do that is to make sure that they don't see the other team during those final stages. Because even if we didn't have a puzzly type obstacle, if we had one difficult, like a parkour type obstacle that people were struggling to get around, there's always going to be a time disparity between one team where one team is better. Like, it's very difficult to design a game where you know, like, exactly, like, you know that it's going to be really, really short. And like, there's going to be like no difference between the two teams' times, because if you've done that, then you've made it too easy.
Yeah, and another potential for ending this is, instead of having just stairs and a ladder, we could always do a mini parkour course up to the winning platforms that you can see the other team doing as well. So if both teams are in there and they look over and they see, crap, we have to complete this parkour course and get to the finish line first, there's that instant gratification when you finish that you've won. So anyways, it's been Niall and Avondale again with the behind the scenes for Sprint V3, and you can join us next time when we will talk about Nox games. Bye bye.
Stay frosty, Noxlings.
Noxlings? Is that a thing?
We've got no idea what to call our fans.
I still like Noxlets. That's my favorite.
Noxlets. Do you guys like that? Let us know in the comments. We've got no idea.
Noxcrew. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Avondale. I'm here again with Blue Help Bot Niall. Say hi.
Hi, I'm in a GIMP mask.
He has it looks like a bucket upside down on your head. It's the weirdest thing.
It's a chainmail helmet. Yeah, we've never used chainmail helmets before.
It really does look like a bucket. Okay, anyways, we're back here in Sprint V3. And yeah, isn't it wonderful? So we're going to talk about some of the obstacles in here, and we're also going to talk about...
Alright, so the first thing you'll notice about this lobby is I sneakily managed to actually include a 3x3 robot chute this time. Because I was really getting sick of the... Ooh, fancy. So spacious. Also, what we did for Sprint...
the little blip, the biggest flaw in our recording that day, and also how lucky we were that it happened the way that it did. So yeah, let's start with the lobby, I guess, so you can show off your little bird baskets up there, yeah?
Division 3, as we pretty much did for all the other sprints beforehand. I say all, I mean both of them. Is we gave the contestants a chance to kind of look over the track beforehand, even if they didn't quite know what they were doing. So I installed these two little viewing platforms.